Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Oh, hello, Star Wars fans. You know, there's 265 days until Christmas 2025. You know what that means? There's been 100 days since last Christmas, right? 365 days in a year. It's good to see you all here, except Matt Risman. You know, I had a song already for him today. In fact, you know, you guys may be familiar with Matt Risman. You may have seen him over at EBN. You may see him over on the Discord. He's been a guest appearance. He's done guest appearances with our friend Star Wars Meg, and he's here in the chat poking the bear all the time. And I've got this song ready for Matt. Yeah, he already knows. So for those of you, here you go. Let's see how this goes. This is Matt Risman, right? He looks like an angel. He walks like an angel. He even talks like an angel. Oh, but once you get to know him, you get to know. Yep, yeah, he is. He's the devil in disguise. There you go. Nick knows that to be true, right? Nick, you know. Matt Risman, you know that, right? Good to see you guys. Nick, good to see you. Matt, good to see you as well. And Ducky Momo, hello, good to see you. Yeah, I had to go late today because I had a daggum work meeting that started at 12:30, went to 1:30, and I even left the meeting and they're still talking. So, you know, I'll have to catch the rest of it some other time. Yeah, I got to watch. Don't get copyrighted. That's why I was talking over top of it a little bit. Right. And I already checked YouTube's policies with that song specifically. What they will do is they'll clip that portion and make it shared, shared monetization, or they'll just shut off the monetization, but they won't copyright me. I won't get any strikes, won't get in too much trouble. So hopefully talking over like that will let oh, you guys are so much fun. We've got some topics to discuss today, don't we? Star Wars news. You know, we're ramping up the Star Wars Celebration. That's the next thing to come along, you guys. Star Wars Celebration is just a couple of weeks away. In fact, 2 weeks from now, in the middle of the night for most of us, because the celebration is over in Japan. We'll wake up the next morning to find out what news happened overnight. And our good friend Meg, Star Wars Meg, she's a number of hours ahead of me. Now Nick, he's over there in Meg's neck of the woods. He's in her neighborhood. So for Nick, he's got to wait for Meg to get her videos out. But for us, hopefully that means that Meg will have her. Yes. Yeah, Matt. YouTube has a little thing where you can say, hey, mute this section because I want my monetization back. Now, for me, that amounts to pennies. But, you know, pennies add up. So I appreciate it. appreciate that. All right. Yeah, so 2 weeks, we'll start to get Star Wars Celebration news. And some people say that they already kind of jumped the gun with a little bit of Star Wars Celebration news in that, I keep forgetting you got to hit this button so that, this stuff plays up here, right? So make sure you're doing those things. No pressure, Meg. Just all of us will be waiting. It's Meg's job to stay up all night and get the videos ready so that when we wake up in the morning, she's already told us, what. Hey, there's Star Wars Fitz. Good to see you. Kiaran, thank you for stopping in. So some people say that they've already kind of jumped the gun on some of the news reveals. There's an animation panel at Celebration, and a lot of people are speculating. What are the things that we'll get in the animation panel? And we're talking about, we'll certainly get an update on Visions. Maybe we'll hear about another Tales of kind of thing going on. Hopefully, we'll hear something about a full-fledged animated series. But, one thing came out early, and it came via Star Wars themselves. So they released this trailer the other day. I know you guys have already broken it down. You guys have already seen Meg's videos. You've seen all the content creators out there who cover this stuff live. A guy who loves Star Wars. You've probably seen him too. They all broke this down, and folks have different opinions. Now, if you know me, I love Cad Bane. Oh, Cad Bane. He's my favorite bounty hunter guy in all of Star Wars. Cad Bane, he is the dude. He is the man. And Matt. So it says 2 favorite Star Wars bounty hunters are back for Tales of the Underworld. Now, this is funny. To me, this is hilarious because and you guys know, and I heard Meg cover this, more than a year ago, I'll bet. It was on one of her streams. And there was a report that came out, a little podcast over there in the UK, in England, a little podcast over there where they mentioned that they had heard about this Tales of the Bounty Hunters. I was like, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, what is that? And then over the time, I kept hearing little things chirping here and there. I hear Peanut chirping right now. But I heard things, time to time, updates, how things are going, what's going on. And one of the things I heard is that this Tales of the Bounty Hunters was done. It's wrapped, ready to go. It's in the can. They can release it when they want. Tales of the Bounty Hunters. And I kept hearing Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, over and over again for months. Even StarWars.com leads with 2 favorite bounty hunters. But is it called Tales of the Bounty Hunters? No. There's where you got it wrong, my friends. Why would you call a show about 2 favorite bounty hunters? Why would you call it Tales of the Bounty Hunters? That's weird. Why would you do that? Naturally, it's called Tales of the Underworld. So I think that's what happened. People heard about this, and that podcast that came out over a year ago, they heard about it, and they made the natural conclusion that it was called Tales of the Bounty Hunters. And maybe we'll talk about something else that fans have been talking about recently as well, but we'll see. So let's see what StarWars.com has to say about this Tales of the Bounty Hunters and the Underworld. How about that? It says, Lady Asajj Ventress and her yellow lightsaber are back alongside the infamous quick draw Cad Bane. Stop for a second. When did Ventress get a yellow lightsaber? Yeah, I remember her in Clone Wars. Seems to me she had a red one. Well, my friends, you got to keep reading. There's other stuff that happened after she got rid of the red lightsaber. Right. So, but there you go. Asajj Ventress, her yellow lightsaber alongside Cad Bane, a new anthology of animated shorts. Today, they announced Tales of the Underworld, the third installment in the Tales anthology. So we had Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, and now we get Tales of the Bounty Hunters in the Underworld. Yeah, Tales of the Bounty Hunters in the Underworld. I'm going to keep calling it Tales of the Bounty Hunters because that's what it's about. You guys just have to know Santa's old and he hangs on to things just because. Yeah, that's what happens. So it says on May the 4th, Star Wars Day, Tales of the Underworld Bounty Hunters is a 6-episode journey following 2 notorious bounty hunters. Former dark side assassin, Asajj Ventress, as she's given a new chance at life and must go on the run with an unexpected new ally. Now, what's this new chance at life? Well, if you've read some legends, you've read some canon, you've read some things about our good friend Asajj, you know that in the book, she dies, and then her boyfriend takes her and buries her on Dathomir in this little pool of life, is what they called it, the pool of life. Well, he walks away, she dead, and then he goes on. That's it. Closed book. Well, the last time we saw her, she was in the pool of life. Well, then if you watched the last animated series, right, the full-fledged series, the Bad Batch, all of a sudden Asajj shows up, and she ain't dead. You're like, wait, I thought she was dead. No, she ain't dead. So maybe we will find out the in-between, when she died and when she's not dead. So it says a new chance at life. She's given a new chance at life. Maybe we'll get part of that story. That would be great. Yeah. Yes. Somehow Ventress has returned and she's got a new job. Yes. You know, you've heard of, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do this. You've probably heard of Dead Man. If you're a comic book guy, you like comic books, you know who Dead Man is. You know, he died and he woke up with a new profession. Oh, Nick's on the train. I know you're wondering if I made it. Okay. Oh, very good. So anyway, here we go. Asajj, it says she's given a new chance at life, must go on the run with an unexpected new ally, an outlaw, Cad Bane. Now, this is interesting. She is, because all the Tales of Anthology series, we saw 2 3-episode arcs. So 2 characters in 3-episode arcs. This one says they are traveling together. I was sort of expecting we would have 3 episodes about Asajj and 3 episodes about Cad Bane. But oh, hold on, my friends. There you go, thinking again, right? Is Dead Man Deadpool's dad? No. What's the other one? The other skeleton guy with the flamey skull, who Nicolas Cage played. What's his name? Hold on. He's another dude who died, and when he woke up, he had another job. I can't remember what that guy. He rides a motorcycle. He's got a chain and he's got a flaming skull, right? Ghost Rider. That's it. Ghost Rider. That's it. Matt says they are not together. This is just a poorly written sentence. What? Well, wait. It says she must go on the run with an unexpected new ally, an outlaw, Cad Bane, as he faces his past and confronts an old friend, now Marshall, on the other side of the law. Matt's probably right. You know, it pains me every time I say that. I think I lose more of my life, more of my life energy, more of my life force is given up to the universe every time I have to say Matt Risman was right. Oh, I just did it again. Man. Says the allies, the Padawan. She's given a new chance at life. Must go on an unexpected new ally. Okay. So, period. Asajj says she's given a new chance at life and must go on the road with an unexpected new ally. Period. The end. Next sentence. And then Cad Bane faces his past when he confronts an old friend, now a marshal on the other side of the law. Period. Oh, there you go. Does this happen after the Book of Boba? Do we need to rescore the Boba predictions game that Cad Bane died? I wish, Ducky Momo. No, I think this is before the Book of Boba Fett. This is going to be back in the... oh, who wrote it? Who wrote it? StarWars.com team. This is a team effort. You guys are going to get me in trouble with my friends at Lucasfilm. You know, I've been accused of being a shill for Lucasfilm before, and you guys are going to get me in trouble again. Oh, Lord. Okay, so the new key art for the series gives us a closer look at the host of new characters and one other familiar face, Latz Razi, the Phelan bounty hunter. Now, who is that? It's this lady down here in the corner, she, right above my noggin, right there. This lady, right here, the Phelan. That's her. It says, all right. So first met in the Clone Wars, Ventress, Bane, and the rest hover over the credit symbol in the third trilogy of posters, and blah blah blah. So Tales of the Underworld stars returning voice actors Nika Futterman, right? Asajj Ventress and Corey Burton as Cad Bane, as well as Art Butler, Lane Foster, Anyway, Dave Filoni created the series and is supervising director. He's also executive producer, blah, 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 blah. So there you go. Watch stories of Ahsoka Tano, Count Dooku in Tales of the Jedi, and Morgan Elsbeth and Barriss Offred in the Tales of the Empire. And then stream Tales of the Underworld on May 4th. So there you go. Yes, I love it. Good stuff. Yeah. Santa needs his shield money. You're not kidding, Fitz. My shield money has been, way down, right? Accused. I do. I gleefully admit it. Yeah, it's Cad Bane before. This will be before he gets shot in the noggin. So in the Book of Boba Fett, he's got this steel plate on his head. And there was a cut scene from the old Clone Wars animated series where he and Boba Fett had a pew pew, right? They shot at each other. And when and Cad Bane's hat goes flying off and people said, "Oh, he dead." I said, "Oh, I don't know if he's dead." That was one, a cut scene. Two, you don't see, I mean, it could have just shot his hat right off his head. He wouldn't necessarily, put out a commission. And so then you see him in the Book of Boba Fett. He's got this plate on his head. I said, okay, well, it caused some damage, and so he got a steel plate put on there. And here it seems to be before the steel plate. So there you go. We have Tales of the Underworld, our first kind of pre-celebration announcement from Disney, right? Yes. It's always great when they have to define who's the art because nobody has a clue who it is or why they're being done. Well, I mean, yeah, but also people don't know who Ahsoka was or is either. I remember I was hanging out with the marching band. I was an assistant teaching with the high school marching band here a few years ago, and the marching band director's husband and I were sitting on the bus, and we're talking about our favorite Star Wars character, and Ahsoka Tano comes up, and of course, we knew who she was, but nobody else had ever heard of her. So yeah, You guys are great. Most Tales episodes have time jumps, though, spanning the life of the character. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do this one because it's going to be, I don't know, like you said, they kind of cover a more of a lifespan or a long period of time in 3 short episodes, which is a criticism of Tales of, by the way. For me, they don't. I'm happy. I've loved both seasons. They're great. Does it answer all the questions you have? And does it raise more questions that you didn't have before? Well, no and yes, right? No, it doesn't answer all the questions. And sure, it raises more questions. But that's part of the fun of it. I've loved the Tales of series. And I'm excited that this one's been announced. By the way, I've heard through the grapevine of at least one more that's in the pipeline out there, and perhaps a second. So we'll see. Yeah, but at this point, it's hard to tell. Maybe it'll be Tales of the Bounty Hunters. It'll include some Underworld thieves. I don't. Tales of the Assassins. We could get Tales of the Sith, Tales of the, rock creatures. I don't know. Anything. It'd be great. Tales of the High Republic. Tales of the Old Republic. Tales of the Chiss. I don't, let's go. I'll take all of them. Okay. Dead if cremated, become one with the Force, or just get really sad. Not sure if anyone's heard, but I'm not watching that show. Nick, what show are you watching? That's the question. I do share a beef that you haven't watched the best live action series of the year on, the Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew is a fantastic Star Wars. You should, if you liked the Star Wars, you should watch the Skeleton Crew. I know that at this point it's on principle because you wouldn't want to give in to Matt Risman. Moff Risman, he's he's the devil in disguise. I'm just that's the way it is. You don't want to give in to that guy. But I'm telling you, do yourself a favor and watch it. Don't be like me. Like with Rebels, I watched a few episodes and I'm like, this is the worst show I've ever seen in my entire friggin' life. Star Wars Rebels, ugh. What are people talking about? This is terrible. And then I wouldn't watch it. I refused to watch it. People are like, Brian, dude, telling you should watch it. I'm like, no, I tried. It's terrible. I'm not watching that garbage. It's not Star Wars. That is trash. And lo and behold, down the road, all of a sudden, I got the notion and I watched Rebels. I got past the first few episodes, and daggone if that isn't just a fantastic, fantastic animated series. Awesome. Star Wars Rebels, highly recommend. Highly recommend. So you should do it. Don't do what I did, right? Do yourself a favor. Go watch Skeleton Crew. And we don't have to tell Matt, okay? Here's a secret. We'll keep it between us. Matt, don't listen. Do this. Right. Matt, I don't want you to, cover your ears, Matt. Nick, you can go watch it, and then we can talk about it. And we don't have to tell Matt that you ever did see it. It'll be great. Let's do that. Okay, Matt, you can listen now. Ventress clips in the trailer seem to take place after her appearance in the Bad Batch season. The troopers seen appear regular Empire era stormtrooper design. Well, you know how it is with the broad strokes. So we could go like when she comes out of the pool of life, something pre-Bad Batch, something post-Bad Batch. I don't know. Anything like that, right? And Steve, hello. Good to see you. Oh, very good. Oh, no, it's not Tales of the Geode. Yes, Tales of the Geode. It'd be great. Tales of the Filonis. Oh, I see. Matt says Nick's not a Star Wars. He's just an Andor fan. I see. Oh no! Here we go. Hello, Andre. Hello. Good to see you. Let's get caught. Skeleton Crew was good. It is good. It's great. It's great. You guys are teaming up on me. For shame. For shame. No, we're on your side. We're on your side. We want you to do yourself a favor. Do something that'll bring you enrichment and joy and happiness. Right? That's not teaming up. That's concerned friends wanting to, you to have more joy and happiness. Right? Star Wars doesn't want me to watch, so I'll listen. Why else would they send Boyega after me? Oh no, Ducky, we're going to get to Boyega here in a minute. Oh my goodness. Very good. Riders of the Tail, Rebels episode 2. Okay. All right. So we've talked about Tales of the Underworld bounty hunters. We've talked about the Tales of the Bounty Hunter show that's coming. And then you guys brought it up. So here we go. Let's just go through this. Why don't we? John Boyega slams Star Wars fans who are only okay with black actors as the best friend. They're pandering. Well, there you go. John Boyega hates all Star Wars fans. It says it right there. It says it right in the title. John Boyega slams every Star Wars fan that's ever been a fan of Star Wars. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. Yeah, it's a can of worms. It is a can of worms. It says, once we touch their heroes, once we lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my, it's just a bit too much. And I saw EBM was talking about this last night. Our friend of me, is that what you call Risman? Risman gave his 2 cents on it as well. And they did a pretty accurate job of reporting the actual story. A coach covered it really well. And even Risman had decent thoughts, except Coach said one thing that he said he had never heard of, never seen, but I experienced it in real life, with a person I know. I've known for the better part of 40 years. He said, I don't know anybody who was upset about a stormtrooper being black. Raise your hand if you did. I do. I know a real life person that I've known for more than 40 years who said, why this is it's before the word DEI was used, but that's what he meant. He's like, this is a DEI hire. Why would they make a stormtrooper black all of a sudden? Why is it that we have to see our very first stormtrooper give up the stormtrooping ways? And can it be a white guy? No, it has to be a black guy. That's a conversation I had with a dude, with a real person. Like when we were sitting eating lunch, one-on-one. Can't tell me they don't exist. They do. I met one. I know one. I've known him the bulk of my life. Yeah. But let's get into the story. Yeah. It says, Kay says they do exist, but a smaller part of the fandom than he's given them credit for, perhaps. I agree. Well, sort of. And we got to look at it. We got to look at it through a little bit of a lens. So we'll take a look. It says the actor behind the ex-Stormtrooper Finn railed against viewers of the sci-fi saga who can't accept diverse casting during an appearance. He's railing against people they can't accept a black actor being in their Star Wars. That's who he's talking about, right? So it starts off with that. And he's talking about this leading black men in Hollywood thing. So it's in the, and Risman brought this up as well. It's a documentary, Black Leading Men in Hollywood. So it starts off in the context where they're talking about black actors in Hollywood, big roles, blah, 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 right? It says, let me tell you, Star Wars has always had the vibe of being in the most whitest elite space. Now, there's the comment that is perhaps the most inflammatory of what he said. Because to him, it has this vibe of being very white. And he's not talking about stormtrooper armor. He's talking about more than that. So he says, it's a franchise that's so white that a black person existing in it was something. And he goes on to talk about Lando Calrissian. And I'll tell you, I can remember when Lando Calrissian came out, and you can go Google it, go look it up. There were comments at the time where there's like, well, they hired him because they needed a black guy. That was way back then. Long time ago. Yeah. Lando had to be a black guy because they didn't have any black guys. That's what the people said. You can go find the news stories on it, right? You can do it. It says, and then they had Samuel L. Jackson. It's like telling me how many cookie chips on the cookie dough. It's like they're just scattered in there, bro. So, look, I don't think that this is a good fight to have. And it never goes well. And we've talked about this here before. Some of these actors do great disservice to their brand, to the franchises they represent, and the projects that they're working on by bringing their activism into public space in the context of their brand and the franchises they represent. We've always had activist actors, always. We've always had political actors who are interested in those kind of things. But when they come out and say things that match their activism attached to the projects they've been in or are in or want to be in, then it muddies the water and then it gets people all up in arms. The other thing to consider is John Boyega. A couple things. One, he is an activist. That's what he is. You look into his personal life, he's no different than many other actors, actresses, people of different genders, races, all of that. He's no different in Hollywood than a myriad of others. And he has his own experiences he brings in. So his life experiences, the things that he has lived through, the things that he has seen, the things that he's done, taint the way he sees things. Right? That's for sure. That's for sure. And he comes out talking about Star Wars in that context. And I think rightfully so. I've heard Meg talk about it, heard Star Wars Theory talk about it, heard EBN talk about it last night. Look, there's a lot of Star Wars. Well, let me put it this way. The role of Finn in the sequel trilogy could have been written different, and it wasn't. And for many people, the role of the character arc of Finn was unsatisfying. And John Boyega has spoken out about some of that. I'm not as critical as a lot of people, but you could talk about the character of Finn and maybe that an opportunity to have a first Black Jedi as a lead character. You could, again, Samuel L. Jackson, definitely like one of the bestest Jedi of all time, regardless of anything. Samuel L. Jackson, who many of us would love to see Mace Windu come back. He's not, he wouldn't be the first, but you could have the first, stormtrooper turned Jedi on film in a movie. And that can still happen, my friends. That can still happen. We can still see John Boyega in a Jedi Master kind of role in the post-sequel trilogy. We know during the sequel trilogy, he got to understand his force sensitivity. And that's the thing that by the end of The Rise of Skywalker, he was coming to terms with and more understanding of. So he has the force sensitivity. He's not yet had the training. And there's a great opportunity in a post-sequel trilogy era to see his character fully realized as a Jedi. People can complain about the sequel trilogy all you want. That should have happened already. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, didn't. It can, and it could still happen. And let's hope we get to see that, right? Let's hope we get to see that. So let me get caught up with some of the Dark Jedi. Hello, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. He says, of course. The world just enhances the worst voices. It's so sad. Not only the world, but my goodness, the internet, right? The internet, keyboard warriors exist, and you end up with people of the worst ilk with the loudest voices, and a very small portion of the population at whole end up representing themselves as a much larger group. And if you are the recipient of a focused attention from that small group, it can make it seem quite bigger than it is. And I'm sure that that's what John Boyega has experienced to a large degree, right? A small group of the fandom who are terrible people, bad actors, bad, have the wrong motivations and the wrong interests, the wrong attitudes, come in and make themselves seem like they're a much bigger problem than maybe they really are, right? So Nick had to go. Much love, except for Rizman, right? I hope the train breaks down. Same conversations have been happening for years. Yes, it has. Also, when he's being interviewed for a documentary about Black people in Hollywood, just saying it makes sense in the context for him to make those comments. You're right, KG. You're absolutely right. Doesn't make him an activist. Absolutely true. Very good. It would also be nice to see without him screaming Ray all the time. Look, I think that's exaggerated. And I watch the sequel trilogies on a regular basis. I just went through them again the last couple of weeks. Have watched them all again. Finn does quite a bit in the movies other than just scream Ray. That's become a trope, which is fine. But I will say that there was one major thing missing from Rise of Skywalker. It was set up perfectly, and they just didn't execute on it at all. It takes away from the movie, makes it less complete, the trilogy. Finn getting the snot shocked out of him, right? You see him in The Force Awakens, right? BB-8 gives him a little eek, and he's like, ow, stop that, right? And he buzzes him again. The Last Jedi, Rose Tico gives him the old, right? Knocks him right out. Why do my teeth feel fuzzy, right? And then Rise of Skywalker, he doesn't get shocked. I'm like, come on, you got to shock the dude. You set it up. He needs shocked. But anyway, the internet does love to malign the extremes. Go to the internet, and social media has blown this all up. Plus, how many bots and algorithms are? Yes, absolutely. Hello, Skywalker's Academy. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for your support. Thanks for being here. So, you guys, there's some things here in this story that certainly have gotten legs. These actors will be well advised to be careful with their franchises, with their brand when they're talking about these things. because boy, it gets them in trouble, right? And he goes on to say, they're okay with us playing the best friend, but once we touch their heroes, once we lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my, it's just too much. They're pandering. And then there's another quote, I think, that's in here. Still, he talks about there's some, right? So, anyway, I think we've covered it, right? We've talked about it. You guys, I hope that John Boyega is featured in post-sequel trilogy movies. I would love to see Rey and Finn as Jedi in the new post-sequel era doing Jedi things, setting up a new Jedi order. Could be fantastic. Could be absolutely fantastic. Disney did his character dirty, and I get that he can't complain about them again if he wants to get work. And I hope he does get work. And I don't think that he was done as dirty as some people think. Kay says, I'm a Reylo. I'm a Finn Rey. Right? But anyway, the writer failed Finn. Most Reylos love Finn too, from what I've heard. I think most Star Wars fans saw greater potential in Finn than the sequel trilogies played out. And most Star Wars fans are disappointed that his character wasn't more, right? They wanted more out of that character and believed that John Boyega had more to offer to Star Wars. And so it's a very positive thing, right? Not a negative thing. Most Star Wars fans want more Finn, and they would love to see John Boyega get to portray more. So I think that's good. 95% of the non-Reylo fandom wanted him to be elevated way more than he was. I don't get why we need to pretend it's okay to paint that 5% as the fandom. You guys are good. You guys are good. Yeah, they left a lot out of Tross while packing too much in. I agree with you. I agree with you. Fitz, I see you. I see you. Baymax, hello. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I truly appreciate all the support you've given this channel to me personally. Fantastic friend of mine. Honestly, I shipped both Finn Rey and Reylo during The Force Awakens. Give us Finn Rey. Yes, please do. All right. So we've got another topic to discuss, and that has to be, it's got to be Andor season 2. The premiere is just 17 days, 9 hours, 45 minutes, and 30 odd seconds away. We're just over 2 weeks away from Andor. And if you've hung around this channel for any amount of time, you know that we like to do a predictions game for every new Star Wars content that comes on Disney Plus. It's a great game to play. Ducky has won. He's been a winner of the contest. In fact, Ducky has been accused of cheating more than once. KG has won some Star Wars Santa merch for performing well on the predictions game. We've had many of you who are here right now, Baymax and others, who have won Star Wars Santa merch for their predictions. We've got a couple of big questions to ask you guys, and I don't necessarily have the answers right now, but I want to bring it up and get your input and find out, what do you think for Andor season 2 predictions? We've got a couple of big things going on. Oh, thank you, Fitz. Thank you so much. Wow, very generous. You made my day. It says the Shiva dog writing with a brush. Number 1. Thank you so much, Fitz. Appreciate it. ultimately, I think Finn and Rey were supposed to have more of a friendship and eventually a master and apprentice role. Well, I, I, I don't think so. If you read the novelizations, especially the adolescent, what do they call them? It's for teens version of The Force Awakens, Last Jedi. They talk about things in their head, right? More than what you see on the screen. And there's a moment in The Last Jedi, specifically that I remember in one of the novelizations, that says that when Kylo tapped into Rey's thoughts, she was thinking about Finn. She wasn't thinking about Kylo. She was thinking about Finn. And Finn was, they weren't doing something together. Finn was out there on his side quest. And Rey's thinking about her friend Finn. I think that there's far more there than just a friendship. But that's me. That's me. I could be wrong. But Andor, should it be? This is my question, Baymax. Thanks for bringing it up. Each week there's going to be 3 episodes, and Meg talked about it this week, and then I saw another article come up about it. These episodes are going to be closer to the 50-minute mark than the 30-minute mark. And that, 46 to 52, something like that, right? Per episode. In each week is 3 episodes. So you're talking between, right in that 2-hour mark, right? 2-hour mark, give or take. What kind of thoughts was Rey having? I think they were, well, it doesn't specifically say. It says that he wanted to talk to, he wanted to see who she was thinking about. And she was thinking about this other guy, right? It gave you the impression it was in a romantic, in a very loving way, right? So that's the impression you have. So if these are in that 2-hour-ish mark, do we do predictions based on the 3-episode arc? Like this is a movie. We're watching a movie. Here are your predictions about this movie. Or do we take it in episode form? Or there's been other variations that I'm kind of fond of. Matt says, my vote is a predictions game per week arc, and we need to make every question has 5 possible multiple. No. The way I'm inclined to do it is bingo style. I'm inclined to do it bingo style, where you would have a bingo card, right? 5 across, 5 down. And you would put in there the things that you think are going to happen in this 3-episode arc, right? And each spot that you get would be a point. And then you get bonus for each bingo that lines up, right? So 90 minutes, let's say a 2-hour arc, you've got your bingo card. This is what, week 1 is. And in week 1, you say, I think all these things are going to happen. And as you're watching it, then you get to check it off, right? So I think what we could do is have a bingo card, and I'll give you it says you did a bingo before. What show was it? I did do a bingo before. It was really, really early on. It shows you Ducky is one of our OGs, right? He's one of our OGs. Book of Boba Fett was a bingo card. Yeah. So if we did that, right, if we could do that for the season, I would give you a template. I'll give you a template. The middle space is always a free space. So everybody gets at least a point, right? You play, you get a point. And then for every, let's do it this way. each box that you get is a point, and for each bingo, you get 5 points, right? BINGO, 5 points. So you essentially get to double your score. So, right, like you get 1 point for each one, BINGO, that's 5 points. And then for getting a bingo, you get 5 more. That's 10 points, right? How about that? And then if by some manner you fill your entire card, right? So you get every single box filled on your entire card, maybe we add another bonus, like 5 more points, right? Something like that. What do you think? Then we have to set up the parameters, right? Because some of you guys, I'm looking at you, Skywalker's Academy, looking right at you. I see you. Some of you guys cheat, or you try. Yeah, really, really try. So I have to put up some parameters that say, what kind of questions or what kind of things can you put in the spot? Like you can't put that there will be an Andor logo in the opening of the show. There will be credits at the end that list the actors who are in the show. There will be an introduction where there will be a theme song played for the show. There will be a recap that says you can't do that stuff, right? Right. We say bricks and screws, right? We need to think about it, right? It's very cheatable. So what I'm thinking is you have to submit your bingo cards in advance, and I'll have them stored on the server, right? So I'll do that, and then you can no gimme answers, right? Like Diego Luna will be playing the role of Cassian Andor. Yeah, you can't do that. So here's what I need you guys to do, right? Between now and next couple of weeks, and we'll bring this up again between now and then. I need you to start submitting what you think are good, acceptable, fill in the bingo card responses, right? So what are some things that could go in the bingo card? So let me bring this up. I've got this kind of worksheet here, and I don't know. You guys have to tell me if you can read this, can I make this? Yeah. Look at there. Now you can see. So if I put on here and I put we see the Death Star, right? Like, are we going to see the Death Star? In its as it's being put together. We see Darth Vader, right? That would be good. How about we see Grand Moff Tarkin, right? GM Tarkin, right? How about that? Let's see. We should get a list of about 50 questions. That people draw from. I like that, Baymax. That's what I'm thinking. If we can get a nice list of, of potential here, fill in your spots with with any of these, right? Because we know that some people are going to be in this, and some people cameo of from Rebels. How about that? Not Saul Guerrero, right? Because Saul Guerrero is in Rebels. He's not a cameo, right? Somehow Moff Gideon returned. So we've got to start, right? You could. I think things like this could be in there. X-wing, right? Are you going to see an X-wing? How about? Because there needs to be that will actually happen. TIE fighters, right? Like more than one in a scene, right? Yeah, Saul Guerrero was in season 1, so he would not be a cameo. Yeah, perfect. How about Jeddah, right? How do you spell that? Jeddah, like that, right? Is that it? What other things can we put on our on our bingo list answers? Right, that's what I need. I need what can we put on our bingo list answers? And then the nice thing is when you main character death. Oh, Matt Risman. Okay, we have to then define who a main character is, right? I love I love that. Like we know there are several potential, right? Who do we say a main? Yeah, we can work the Discord or work it in Discord, right? Yeah, get a long list together. Lightsaber. Used. Lit. Right. Stormtroopers act. Wedding crashers. Gorman massacre. Yeah, the Gorman massacre. That should definitely be in there, right? Gorman massacre. All right. Two tubes. Two tubes. Yeah, sure. Let's put two tubes on there. Senate chambers. I like that one. Senate chambers. All right. We got a good starting list here. Let's see, what else we got? Luthen. Yeah, Luthen would be a main character death, right? Very high probability Luthen will die, right? You gotta, yeah. As the Skywalker's Academy says, like a name character, like it'd have to be Luthen, Cyril. Does Cyril's mom count as the main character if she dies? Do we count her? This is the thing, right? That Deidre, if she dies, that would count. Subtitles for alien language. Yeah, some of our go-tos, right? So we could definitely put that. Subtitles on alien language. All right. Let's see what else we have, you guys. The yellow lightsabers. So we're going to choose a new card each arc if we want to. Yes, I think so. Matt, I think every week we let you fill in a new card because let's say like the Gorman Massacre, for example, right? You may not think that's going to be in the first arc, week 1. So you're like, I don't want to put that on my card. So you put it, you fill it in with something else. And about the 3rd episode, you're like, it's coming. I think the Gorman massacres, it's imminent. And so you put it on the next one. So definitely a new card every week, right? E.T. is in the Senate. Palpatine. Darth Sidious. K2SO. K2SO. Well, we know he's going to be in it. But you have to guess, like, is he going to be in this arc? But then it gets to a point like later in the season where it's like putting Cassian Andor, right? So maybe not K2, but we can let's put it on here because we can whittle the list, right? How about what is his B2 emo, right? Is that it? Uh, K2 has created over 400 speaking roles this season. Wow. The mother of all cereal. 80s textile computer graphics. Rebels obtain X-Wings. I got an X-Wing, I think. Palps. Okay, we could put Palps on here. We got Vader, right? So if we got Vader up there, we could have Palps on there, right? Sheev. I could put that on there. They already have X-Wings. They do. But will you see an X-Wing like a Droid X cheekily? K2 converts. Okay. Yeah, there you go. C3PO and R2 on Yavin. So those are good cameos, right? So do we have cameo? Did I put cameo? How about I just make it cameo? Right? And we can give a couple of examples like who's one of the ones that people keep thinking, General Syndulla, right? Like Hera. How about Ahsoka? How about C3PO? Like that, right? How about something like that? Excellent. Cyril eats cereal. I think that's is Cyril eats cereal. And then you guys get a pick. Do you want it on your card or not? Y wings. We could put Y wings on there. Y wings. Wins wings. How about that? What else we have? What else? Bombers. Saws do, but we see the Rebel Alliance get a fleet of X-Wings. Spacecraft lands on a planet. That's too generic, right? I want to see Admiral Akbar again. Yeah, that Akbar would go into a great cameo. Kanan Jarrus, that'd be a cameo. I want to see the Rebels get all their hardware. Princess Leia gets a decent cameo. Princess Leia, Bail Organa. Those all count. The Raddus is a good bet for a cameo. You mean Admiral Raddus? Admiral Raddus? Yeah. That's a pretty good bet. Blue milk. Yes. Blue milk. Right. Imperial Senate is seen. Didn't we already have the Senate chambers? Yeah. Senate chambers. Admiral Radish. Yeah. Radus, not radish. How about Easter eggs in Luthen's shop? Oh, how about we have to be a sort of a specific. You could say, let's see, something from. We have to be like. Let me think about it. I like what like some sort. I'll just put it here as a Easter egg item from, say, Naboo, something like that, right? The chosen pun, Mike Porter. Yes, our friend Mike Porter. So there you go. We got a good start, you guys. There's 20 on our list. We need to build it out. I think if we can get the Force, something about the Force. Yes, a mention or use of the Force. All right, how about that? Negotiations were aggressively short. All right. So we'll continue this on Discord and we'll bring it up between now and the start of the show. I'll start working on the bingo card, and then it'll be up to you to fill in your bingo card, submit it to before the show airs, and then we will go through the after show, and we'll look to see. Ooh, we'll look to see. Okay, who scored the most, right? So I think this can work. We'll go through and we'll say, okay, here are the because if we've got, say, 20 bingo cards, it might be kind of tough to go through each card during the stream. But here's what we'll do. We'll say, I will I will come towards the light. Yeah, you saw this, right? If I do this and then I do this, oh no, I'm tiny me. So what we'll do is I'll go through my bingo card, is the breakdown, and we'll go through which ones I got correct. And each of you will grade your bingo card and submit it back to me. I'll review your answers because, Dale cheats. Well, just confess, Dale, you cheat. No. I'm teasing. If anybody cheats, it's Risman, right? For sure. You submit your graded bingo sheet, and I will, tabulate the points every week. We'll put them together, right? I know someone who does prophecy bingo, and the cards are randomly selected without filling them in. Oh, yikes. We'll have to come up with no need to remove you. It's always correct. Yeah. Well, if you weren't here at the beginning of the show, we have a theme song now. Whenever we talk about this guy, Matt Risman, it's a Matt Risman theme song. And I gotta talk to my friend Coach, because I don't know if Coach knows this is Matt's theme song, right? I think EBN needs to, every time they introduce Matt Risman, the theme song ought to play. And I'm ready. I'm ready for the introduction. And this is a sort of an inside joke. Matt will get it. Some of you might get it. I plan when Matt joins us, I'll say, joining us today from the heart of Mordor comes, wait for it, Matt Risman. Oh, welcome, Matt Risman, to the show. We'll do that. From the heart of Mordor, because that's where Risman would, or that's where he does live. If you've seen the map, the map, it proves it. That's, I don't want to have to clip it out. If you've seen the map of Mordor, I didn't make it up. Matt lives there. I can't help it. Very good. Very good. All right. We do have a Mike Porter dad joke. Oh, you know what? I didn't put it in the text where I can bring it up here, but I do have it. Mike Porter sent it to me first thing this morning. And when I got to putting together my, the show, and then I had this meeting, and it's hot enough here to be Mordor. Probably should be Mustafar. Well, Sheev lives in Mustafar, right? Sheev the Wise. We do have a Mike Porter dad joke, though. Mike sent it to me early this morning. He says, did you know that Darth Vader was a pharmacist for a time? He's in the healthcare industry. Darth Vader, he cares about your health. He's a healthcare professional. And because he warns people. He says, be careful not to choke on your aspirins. Yeah, he cares. Be careful to not choke on your aspirins. There you go. Straight from Darth Vader himself, your favorite healthcare professional, right? There you go. Thank you, Mike Porter. That's fantastic. Yeah, love the caring Vader. Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys, have a wonderful day. If you would, remember my wife in your thoughts and prayers. Next Thursday, a week from yesterday, is her cancer surgery. We have she's getting a lumpectomy, and the results of that lumpectomy will tell us if she has to go through chemo and radiation and that kind of thing. So if you missed it, my wife has breast cancer. It's caught very, very early. It's and micro is how it's micro carcinogenic, right? But she's it's like an inch and a half in diameter, and they're going to take that out, and then they're going to test the lymph nodes, and we're praying that those lymph nodes come back clean with no cancer cells, so that she does not have to undergo additional cancer treatment after that. So you guys, appreciate you being here. I love you so much, and thank you for hanging out with me for this past hour and a little bit. Have a wonderful day, fantastic weekend, and until next time, my friends, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, and may the force be with you always. Bye-bye.